Welcome to the Kill Count. My name is Luigi G-Tag, and today we'll be talking about Two-Face, released in 2025. Two-Face is a horror and action movie, directed and created by Red Boy Gorilla. You know, Red Boy Gorilla. He made movies such as GFC, Warzone, Rudder's Blood, and so much more. Now, of course, this is a spoiler warning, so if you haven't watched Red Boy's movie Two-Face already, I very much recommend you to do that first and then come back to this video. Anyways, enough talking, let's get to the kills. The movie begins with an old guy smoking.
I think it's time for bed.
The old guy said he wanted to go to sleep, but instead of that, he just went on the couch and watched football. Alright, then the guy changed his mind and goes for a glass of wine. But it looks like he's not the only one in the house. Ooh, how mysterious. Then the guy heard a noise. He thought it was the rats, but unfortunately for him, it wasn't. The killer tries to shoot the old man, but the old man dodges, and then the old man strangles the killer mad. And then he even dodges his knife attack. But unfortunately for the old man, there's actually two killers, and the old man can't figure out a way how to fight them both, so the killers got the upper hand. The killers start to work together, stabbing the old man. And unfortunately, the old man meets his end, as one of them stab him through the stomach, and the other one shoots him. This honestly just sucks for the old man, and the killers leave his dead body behind. Then, we meet our main character, John. He's getting ready for work. Then suddenly, he gets a call from his radio.
Hello, this is John.
Hello, John. We're gonna need you at the office. There was a murder that happened a week ago.
John tells the chief that he'll be right there, and then he gets ready to go to the station. But then, John notices the news on the TV, so he turns it up and listens.
Now the focus of a nationwide manhunt after a series of chilling murders left investigators stunned and the public terrified.
Oh, that's probably the case they need me for.
John arrives at the station and asks the chief police why they call him here. Then the chief police starts to explain about the murders. The chief explains to killers on how they wear the same costumes and how they killed that old man in that apartment. He also explains that there was no DNA prints at the crime scene. He also tells John to go on his walkie-talkie and there will be a police officer to give him more details.
Alright, Chief.
Meanwhile, this guy's calling a guy named Victor to give him his money.
Victor, I need that money now!
But I guess Victor tells him to wait or something, so I guess the guy's a bit mad. The guy decides to cool off with a smoke break. Oh yeah. But unfortunately for him, some robbers are nearby and they decide to rob him.
Run those pockets! You think I'm playing? We're together right now! Here, take everything. That's all I got to do in business. I'll let him go.
They let him go, but the second robber pushes him in the water. That's not nice. But don't worry, because luckily he's alive and well.
At least I'm not dead.
Never mind, he's dead. Into the count you go. But anyways, the robbers are really happy with the money they stole, but then the first robber says he needs to use the bathroom. And while he's doing his business, one of the silencers walk up to him.
What the hell, man? I'm trying to piss!
The silencer continues to beat him, and then he stabs him right in his stomach. Ooh. The second robber hears the noise and goes and checks on him. Unfortunately for him though, the only thing he finds is his dead body. And a silencer behind him. Oh, two silencers. This is gonna get rough. Unfortunately for him though, he dies the same way the first one died. Oh wait. Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, next morning we see John warning people about the silencer. Alright, if you see anyone with a bird mask, a top hat, and a gun, call the police immediately, even if they're not going after you.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Then John gets a call from the chief of police asking to meet at another crime scene. When John arrives, the chief of police tells him about the 3 murders last night. The chief of police also tells him that there were also 47 other murders, but I'm not going to count those 47 since we never met or seen them before. Anyways, in the studio, an interview is happening, and the guy getting interviewed messes up, and the director gets really mad.
Cut! Dude, what are you doing? You gotta actually believe that you got attacked by the silencers.
Anyways, after that, the director tells the cameraman to record again. But during the interview this time, the director hears a noise from upstairs. So he goes upstairs to check what that noise was.
Alright, listen. If you're not a part of Silverback Studios, you have to leave right now.
The noise didn't answer him, so he goes on and tries to find it. And he backs up to his shelf, and don't you know it, a silencer is right there waiting for him.
What the hell?
Anyways, the rest of the studio crew hear the director dying, so this random studio girl just like quits.
Yeah, goodbye. I never liked any of y'all. I always cheated on Alice with Gabriel.
Oh my god, that was crazy, bro. Anyways, John gets a call from his radio to arrive at the crime scene. And when he arrives to the crime scene, the goddamn cameraman falls from the window. This is crazy, bro. But rest in peace. Anyways, John decides to enter to the front, and he sees 2 dead bodies when he gets up. And then we get the appearance of the most awesomest guy in the whole entire universe.
Police officer, watch out!
That's right, the myth, the legend, Jimmy. Oh, and what a dead guy behind him. Listen, Jimmy is an absolute legend. He's appeared in movies like Red Boy Verse 2, and has made lots of funny appearances in Red Boy's movies.
Was that the bad guy?
Anyways, back to Two-Face. John and the silencer are fighting, and then John shoots the silencer, and then this other silencer knocks them both down to the first floor. John tries to use his gun, but the silencer just knocks it off of him. Then the silencer beats the living crap out of John, but then Jimmy comes to the rescue, trying to fight the silencer by whacking him, I guess. Fortunately, the silencer is just too strong and pushes Jimmy away. Then the silencer just walks into the dark. Away! Then we see this cop, I believe, telling the chief of police about the studio murders. So then the chief of police radios John to come to the apartment. When John arrives, John asks why he's here, and the chief of police wants to know what happened at the studio. So John just says that there were just a bunch of dead bodies, but that also he has one of the silencer's blood. The chief of police is very happy with this, so he tells someone to check it out so we can know their identities. Then John asks where exactly they are, then the chief of police explains how this is the old guy's apartment and how they found his dead body in the sink, totally drowned. God, this reminds me of Terrifier. And then the guy who had the DNA calls them over, and well, I'll just let him explain it.
I got the blood samples, and they're both brothers. One's name is Mason, and one name is Alex. Also, the DNA also connected to the dead person, which was an abusive father.
Okay, my entire jaw just literally dropped in his scene, bro. But anyways, John has his idea on how to capture the silencers, and he needs someone for it. And then this random guy just says, oh yeah, I'll go with you. So both of them go to look for the silencer, yay. And then these two just go super spy mode, but instead of finding the silencers, they just find this dead cop. So I'm putting this guy in the count. But that was really a trap from the silencers. So the chase begins. John and the cop run and run, but eventually they get cornered by the silencers. But then John hits one of the silencers, and they both run and hide into the competitive course. Aww, it's like a little game of hide and seek. And oh god, another fight begins. Then the cop strangles one of the silencers, which will be later named as Alex, and shoots them. Ugh. But this is not over, since one of the silencers, Mason, gets up and shoots the cop. Ugh, rest in peace, dude. Well, at least he killed one of them. Then John gets out of the science spot and tries to shoot Mason.
I have a shotgun, you have a pistol. Who do you think's gonna win the fight?
Then John asks if he's Alex or Mason, and he responds that he's Mason. Then he also asks if his first victim was his dad.
Yeah, he was abusive. Killed my mom, beat me and my brother every day. And when we all thought you just wanted money. Some men don't want money. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
And with that, the final fight begins. It would be kind of easy if one just used their weapons and it would end it all, but whatever. And Mason almost wins with his Joker outline, but John is able to overpower him and shoot him.
Everyone you killed, this is their payback.
And like that, the good guy wins in the end. But Mason dies with one more thing on his mind.
Maybe if I put it this way, you'll understand. Money won't solve my revenge.
And like that, the movie is over, with everyone congratulating John on his good works. Or maybe there's gonna be a sequel, since we see a guy in the background lurking. Ooh. So, how many kills did these brothers manage to get? Well, let's find out and get to the numbers. There were 14 kills in Two-Face, 12 males, and correct me if I'm wrong, 2 females. I'm pretty sure there were 2 female deaths. The award for best kill will go to Mason. Not because of the blood or gore, which by the way there weren't any, but because of that scene, bro, was so peak. The award for the worst kill has to go to all the random studio people that John found, because their deaths were all screen. And that was Two-Face, a pretty awesome Red Boy movie. Now, if you want to see more kill counts like this, just like the video, or comment down below. Well, with that, I'm Luigi G-Tag, and this has been the Kill Count.